this is I'm just gonna talk about this song called "The Other Me" a little bit. So I guess I'll start by just talking a little bit about writing this song. Put this guy back here.
Sorry, is that product placement?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We're sponsored by Goldfish. Brought to you by Goldfish. Yeah, so I wrote this song. Fun fact about me, before I was here in Nashville, I was living abroad. I was as an ESL teacher in Hanoi, Vietnam. And, you know, it was a great experience, but also, like, very isolating, especially, like, in the beginning. You know, I think I sort of viewed it as, like, it was this thing that I felt like I needed to do, and it was definitely like against the grain to, you know, do something like that, like move to this, you know, far away place. But I mean, and there's a lot of, like, you know, it ramps up until you get there, but then once you're there, it's like very anticlimactic, and because, and very like inglorious, I'd say, and you know, it's lonely, and you know, you have the internet, and you kind of watch the lives of the people that you love sort of move on without you. And it sort of happens slowly, but like you're powerless to rejoin that world. So this was a song that I actually wrote most of it when I was there. And it's just about, you know, feeling cut off and needing to reach out to people. I mean, there's definitely like a few times that I had like, I had like planned to like Skype somebody from home or whatever, and like I feel like maybe I like asked to Skype again like too soon after the last time, and they were like, I don't really have anything new to tell you, and I was like, I don't care. I just care that like you're speaking to me. Like I don't really care what you're saying. So, you know, it's just sort of like the song is just sort of about processing that and processing like, is it really worthwhile to have made this jump? I mean, what was it really all about? Anyway, wrote that in Vietnam. Most of it came to Nashville and finished most of it up. And this was like a little while ago. So when I was ready, I brought it in to play with a band. And actually, Harrison definitely shaped a lot of the way this was arranged. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, so this is one of the first songs when I come into the fold that we were working on that was not completed as far as arrangement went. And the good thing about bringing a song to a group is that everyone comes from different backgrounds. My background was definitely more of the choral, vocal, a cappella group type. And so I always try to find different vocal things to do here and there. And so when I heard at least the verse, you know, it's a simple verse, it's just one line, that was just kind of adding on. And so we decided to just add that one verse and then add the harmonies upon it each time to kind of build that, to make it a little bit more climatic. And then at the end of the song, I think originally we had done a full chorus with the band still in there, and I was like, what if we just cut out all the instruments and did it a cappella? And then I think Peter really liked that, and so we decided to do it that way, put more of an emphasis on the vocals now that we had some more vocalists in the group and were able to do that.
Yeah. And also, I think you were the one that made the suggestion just to like cut it off instead of going through a whole last chorus,
sure. Yeah.
Which I think was a great call. I obviously didn't do that on the live video, but just because those harmonies are great and they don't get shown very often because it's just such a loud section.
Yeah, and I'm always impressed with bands that have multiple vocalists. It just adds a certain element that not everyone is able to do, and we've been kind of blessed to have that in this group. So.
Yeah. To quote Thomas, you've got the, what is it? The voice of an angel and the range of a fireman's ladder.
Well,
That is
I'll
true.
take it.
It's very true.
Shower these compliments on you.
Yep.
Anyway, so Will produced this EP start to finish, and this song was, I think the one that I was sort of like, I really felt like emotionally attached to it, but going into these recordings, I was like, man, this is gonna be the bad one. Like every album has to have like a bad one.
Yeah. Can have one bad song.
Because it was such a mystery, like what we had, like it was very like unformed. Like even once we got through pre-production and like everything, like leading up to actually being like in the studio ready to create these soundscapes, like very little of it was like in stone yet. And I remember we were working out of this space that was like more of a construction zone. at that point.
Hard to call it a studio, really.
Yeah, the bathroom didn't even have a door. But I remember like we had pulled a long week doing these, and this was like somewhere like middle of the week. We were weary, and like it was like 3:00, and we were like, well, we're gonna keep going. So we like went out for pizza, and like came back, and oh my gosh, whatever we did was like so bad. Like we just had to like stop and just like take a nap.
Yeah. I needed a nap after that.
But
yeah.
once we did it, it turned out great.
Yeah.
And we created a lot of these sounds from scratch. So you just want to kind of talk about.
I remember when you came to me, you said you wanted to do a lot of things with voice manipulation.
Yeah.
And taking a voice and turning it into something that almost doesn't even sound like a voice.
Mm-hmm.
And that you wanted a lot of electronic textures. So I kind of took that and ran with it, and we ended up with this intro section, which I thought.
I think our references
cool.
for this were like a little bit darker than we ended up with. Like, but.
So where do we start? The intro just starts with some synths right here. Just a Juno synth and something else on top of it. Some bells, chords going over it. And then you add, hopefully, something called a CR78, which is an old analog drum machine. Think like Genesis. What is it? In the Air Tonight. This is the drums on that. Add a little 80s reverb to taste, and you get that. So yeah, that's two elements there: synths and drums. And then what else we got? So believe it or not, I'm pretty sure that's your voice. Yeah. We took a little snippet of his voice and ran it through this Sound Toys plugin called the Primal Tap, which emulates an analog delay. It has a freeze function, and you hit freeze, and it kind of makes these like repetitive delay loops. And then I think we pitched it up or down or something crazy. I truly don't remember. And then yeah, you just get this repeating thing. It sounds like that. What else we got? Oh, we had a chipmunk voice. This is a lyric from later in the song that we took a chunk of, pitched it up, put some reverb on it, and you have a chipmunk voice.
Wide awake.
Yep. The phrase wide awake. Let's see if it repeats again. Anytime you want it to, it pauses. That's the rule. Alright, we'll move on. This is another repeating loop, vocal loop thing. Let's see if we can get to the file. There we go. Oh yeah, this was.
I forgot about that.
This is basically a bunch of little syllables from later in the song that were pitched into all sorts of different directions and different notes, and we essentially like crafted a melody out of these vowels.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it turned into this. Wait for it. Wait for it. So then you put all that together, roughly mixed. You get it? That's about it. Easy as that.
Yeah.
It took like hours.
It took a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
It was like middle of the night by the time we were done with that stuff. But yeah, that's one of my favorite parts of this whole
it's
project
very cool.
has been. I mean, like it just has not gotten old the more I listen to it.
Turned out really well.